It is not a secret that the cost of running Facebook and Instagram ads is climbing up and is going to rise over time because the supply is higher. More brands are on these platforms and they are running ads, and that is affecting your cost. And the competition is always a problem. Wherever you go, on TikTok, Google, you're gonna face the same problem unless you'll implement what I'm about to teach you in this video. And look, if you can master this, you'll never have problems getting customers profitably. The only way to deal with rising costs on the social media advertising platforms boils down to only two key elements, to only two metrics, and they are not cost per purchase, they are not how much revenue you're making, how many conversions you are getting per month, but that is your AOV and your LTV. I'm talking about average order value and your customer lifetime value. At the end of the day, the business who can overspend their competitors, who can spend the most to acquire the customer, will always win on the marketplace, period. I mentioned a lot about that in my other videos, because that is really the reality. What it always happens when more competition comes in, the supply is higher and the demand is less, and that drives to higher costs, and it makes you to lower your prices, it makes you to lose from profit. What we want here to do instead is to ask ourselves, how can we increase our capabilities to spend more to acquire a customer, and not thinking about how can we decrease our cost by $1 or $2, because your opponents, they right now are thinking how they can actually spend more to acquire customers. Some are even willing to lose some money in the front end sale and then make their profit in the back end. But I know that this is not sustainable and it's not profitable and it's very difficult for small businesses. That's why we have to look at our AOV and our LTV. But don't take me wrong, I'm not saying that you don't want to lower your costs. Lowering costs usually you can make by testing more at creatives. That is still relevant and is still important. But we also want to have a high average order value and a high LTV, because that is giving us much higher profit margins. So we could reinvest, we could spend more than our competitors. So from now on, reduce, in fact, take out from your vocabulary things like how can I decrease my cost by $1, because the advertising and the business pace is going to be even higher in terms of a volume in the next 5 years, 10 years. So the cost will always and always rise. I want to give you an example so you could actually see the importance of having a high AOV and LTV. Let's say that right now your average order value is $100. So you're selling some kind of products and your AOV is $100, meaning is that people are spending on average $100 from the first order. And you're running ads, and on average in your industry you are spending $50 to acquire a customer. And let's say that your cost per goods, meaning to manufacture that product, to ship that to your customer, costs around $50. Well, from the first order, you don't get any profit. You get zero profit. You are basically at your break even. And that might be sustainable for some businesses because they know they get some sales in the back end. But for the most businesses, it's pretty difficult to scale. Now, instead, let's say that we made some tweaks and we increased the AOV to $150. Right there, you have $50 in profit, and that can make a huge difference in terms of how far your business can go and can be scaled. There are multiple ways to increase your AOV, and in fact I have a dedicated video where I talk more in details about that. But to give you just a few ways, one of the most powerful one is post-purchase upsells. This one can literally take your AOV to the next level, because when a person purchases something from you, they are in the buying mode. I already talked about that in my previous videos. When it happens at the time, they are more willing to buy the second product because they already trust you. If they didn't, they would not even buy in the first place. So make sure that you have at least one upsell at your thank you page. Do not underestimate the power of your thank you page, because there you get the profit. Another way to increase your AOV is by adding a complimentary thing that people can get for free when they spend a required amount of money on your website. So let's say that your AOV right now is $100. You want to make it to $200. You could get a thing that is not costing you a lot of money, but in front of your customers will be something that they will perceive as valuable for the purchase that they are making. and you add a requirement, if they are spending $200, then they get that thing for free. That literally can double your AOV, sometimes even overnight. Especially when you are giving a free thing that is really valuable to your customer. Not to you, but to your customer. Besides the AOV, make sure that you also pay attention to your LTV, to your lifetime value. Something that is going to be a game changer, and usually I see it's used by beauty and skincare brands, it's having a subscription option. Now you can play around and you can also think a little bit out of a box and look, if you are not in that space, maybe you could actually add for your industry as well. That is super powerful because it's giving you a recurring revenue, usually per month. Besides that, you are increasing your LTV, that gives you also some more cash flow, so you could actually spend more to get the customer, which is our first goal that we have to keep in mind. Another strategy that I've never said on my channel, and I'm using only with my clients, and I've been thinking a lot of time to say it or not, because it's literally very kind of private and I didn't really want to say it, but because I want to add as much value as possible and I really want you to take your business to the next level, I'm gonna just say it. So the strategy sounds something like this. When a person purchased a product from you, you are giving something for free, something that again, it doesn't cost you a lot of money, but it's a complementary thing to their entire customer experience. And that thing is going to lead to their next purchase. So let me explain. Let's say that, for example, you are selling necklaces. In essence, you are selling some kind of jewelry, and you have necklaces, you have rings, you have earrings, and you've just sold a necklace. And in that order, what you can add is, let's say, a ring sizer, okay? So you send that product, the person just got the product, and when they are unboxing, they can also see that ring sizer. And you can have a small message, and you could say something like, this is a ring sizer, you could try, you could see what is your size, and then take a look at our website, because we also have very beautiful rings, where maybe if you launched a new collection, you could tell them about that, if it's rings. And now once they also know their size, it's much more likely for them to convert and buy a ring from you, considering that you gave them a great experience in the first place with their first purchase. So as you can see, if you think out of a box, you could find out very interesting ideas that not many brands are using, but that is going to literally take your business to that next level. That's the only way to scale. When you have more profit, you can reinvest, you can spend more. The majority of businesses cannot cross that revenue mark because the profit that they're getting is too little. And as we're spending more money on ads, our cost actually is going up, because now we are targeting a much broader audience, and that audience might be a little bit less interested. So you have to understand that the cost you're getting right now is not gonna be the same as you have right now when you will increase it by 50, 100%, 200%. When you have a huge AOV and LTV, you are not even thinking about how to decrease your cost by $2 to $5 because you have already enough profit. What I also recommend is watching these two next videos where I talk in details about how to increase your AOV and LTV. So be sure to check them out, and I will see you there.